the fuck?
What is going on?
What the fuck?
What is going on, man? What the hell is going on?
What was that? Okay, so
what was
for those of you in the audience that are just coming in, we got started going into our discussion, not realizing that the live shut down on every single platform except the one we recorded on, and only 50 seconds of it at most got out. Only 50 seconds.
That is. When you left us and we come back out, it was just a black screen for me.
I know. I had to reload it in order to start up another stream to try to bring us back.
I'm telling you, it's the reptilian aliens in Miami.
What the fuck? Yeah, we can see
because
comments.
We mentioned the Epstein Island.
Yeah, great start, right? Yes, we can see you.
Yeah, we can see you. Hey Jenny.
Hey Jenny. Hey Lawrence. Hey Facebook person.
Facebook user. I just don't know what's going on.
I know. We started going right into it. We were talking. Talk about a fucking start to the new year, man. God.
I know. Stephanie. I don't know. I mean, we've got 10 people watching us now. That is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. I mean, what did you guys see? What did you guys hear? Did they hear something weird?
Facebook user, you got to realize we stream to more than one platform at once.
Yes. You're going through Go Scotland. You're going through 5 different Facebook destinations.
We're going out to 20 different destinations from this stream right now.
But on Facebook.
20 all together. I think I know who that one was. I was making fun of them on your Facebook page because they were trying to harass you for not. We're trying to say you were. I don't know what I'm talking about. This was weird. Oh,
did you see?
Hi, Ann.
Did you hear something weird? Because I seen somebody saying, "What was that?"
That was
it me. Went blank. See, well, I was after I mentioned. What was that? It's after I mentioned the Epstein Island, and then it all just went weird.
Here, unexplained IE 3-second clip live stream died with black screen and a 22-second clip available on YouTube. Yeah. On YouTube, it was only about 20 seconds. Facebook went for about 50. What the fuck?
Exactly. What?
And I think we actually had a bunch more people jump in because of it. So thank you.
Yeah. We'll get 14 watching. We'll get 15 watching actually. On YouTube, we'll get 14, and then 1 person in the Facebook world.
I mean, fuck. Talk about a start to the new year.
I'll tell you, there's some really strange stuff happening in the. I'm going to say something here, and I don't know if anybody's noticed this. Does anybody think that the internet is acting weird?
Like, do we have any solar flares going on right now?
No, I don't think so. I've noticed it because I used to get a full 4G where I stay, and now it's usually 3G.
Hold on. Extremely powerful New Year's Eve solar flares still causing radio blackouts. Wi-Fi does run through radio broadcasts. So, yeah.
See, that's what it is. It's the alien reptilians that invaded them all in Miami.
I'm telling you, weird stuff going on. Don't you think we know that, Lulu?
I mean, I've only got one thing to say about the Miami aliens. They need to go shopping too. But I don't think it was aliens, guys.
The earthquake in Japan, the Epstein files being slowly rolled out, the Miami alien invasion, for lack of better term.
Yes.
My own little incident the other night. This shit's getting weird, man. And we're not even a week into 2024 yet. Not even a week, and we already got this.
There's Alan saying that the internet's acting up. But Alan, your internet is extremely slow.
That's Titanic, what you get for watching so much porn.
The Titanic, Alan is terrible. Alan, your internet is awfully slow. I've seen the radio in the Titanic, the Morse code thing was quicker internet than he had.
Yeah. Oh.
With Emerald Isle, just reading all the guys. It's good to see. So thank God it's
Yeah,
going over to the audio video. God, I will say this. Check out. Did you see Jenny's live she did the other
I
night?
did catch a few bits of it. Yes.
See the EVPs and that. Holy shit! Remember, guys, check out Emerald Isle's Paranormal. Brilliant live investigation she did.
So anyway, how the
Island.
hell is everybody?
Well, I'm fine. I'm jolly. The rest of the when no day in the shows was quite good. But it's good to be back again because I was missing no day in my shows. Yeah, you know I mean, my Saturday and Sunday night of
You got to
madness and
recharge
shows.
every now and then, but you get to miss it for a while.
Look, Christmas time, New Year time, it was good, but that's our new. It's now 2024. What mad things will ensue?
I know we already have so many people saying that 2024 is going to be the year of disclosure, and we're opening up with an alien gunfight in fucking Miami of all places.
Right, I'm going to say this. I mean, all the kids running out of that place, it could have been one of these weird TikTok things, right? You can't have the day they kind of TikTok things. I will say there was a lot of police cars there. And then the only footage of the aliens is a helicopter half a mile up looking down. Right?
And when you really look at it,
telling me police officers don't have phones?
Body cams, one. Yes. But here's the thing. The particular angle that was from, the figure, easily a shadow.
Yes.
Coming off of a person that was walking out of the mall.
See, it'll be interesting because a lot of the officers had body cams, right? Like you say. And in America, and I know it's the same in Britain, you can request to see that footage.
Mm-hmm.
And if they delete that footage, well, then you think, oh, there's something going on because they deleted the footage. But see if you get to see that footage and it's three folks stunning. I don't think it's an alien thing. I think it's like a psyop kind of thing to try and turn your eyes away for this Jeffrey Epstein's island kind of thing.
Here's the thing. You got to take into consideration, it doesn't take much. With every major viral incident, we always have people trying to claim that they were there, they saw this go down, there was gunshots. Honestly, I know there's probably going to be a lot of people that are going to say, "Oh, you believe the news? You're going to believe that?" Blah 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 blah. Okay, first off, yes, that did seem like a awfully big response for kids fighting. Here's the thing: they were shooting off fireworks in a big mall like that. The acoustics are going to make it sound like there's a shooting going on, which would prompt an all-car response.
Aye. I mean, I must admit, I was like, holy shit, that is a lot of police cars.
It's like you get that type of response for the major venues like that when you don't know where the shooters are going to be, who's dead, who's walking out, who's actually, if a shooter's going to try to act like a hostage in order to escape.
This is what I'm going to say is I noticed with the helicopter looking down, they say, oh, there's the giant aliens walking about and all that kind of stuff. But if you notice, there's all police looking in towards it for the helicopter, right? So see when we get to see the body footage of that, and all you can see is people running out the door and they're like, this is what I'm waiting on. I want to see the body footage on the cameras. And then again, if it gets deleted, then there's something going on.
But then again, here's the thing. There's a lot of idiots out there, and I'm going to use this bluntly, that are going to try to say that, oh, why is the person morphing like this in the body cam footage? It's called a fisheye lens. It helps capture more of the scene. It distorts the images because it's technically like looking through a bubble.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm going to say this, Tate. I've been watching TikTok. TikTok's for a complete and utter shite. There is some things on that's actually quite entertaining, but I'm going to say that there's people on there saying, oh, I was at it, I seen that. But then you look at their account and they're French and they're German and they're like, how the hell were you there? And there was one guy the night, he was like, "Oh, I'm in Japan now. I fled to Japan because the men in black are after me." You know, what the bloody absolute shit. The men in black. I'm not saying that the men in black don't exist. I think they do exist. I do think they did exist. I don't know what's going on with them now because there's not been many sightings of them.
There hasn't been a lot of sightings in the last few years.
No, because I think they were tied to like the Greys and stuff. I think they were tied to that kind of side of stuff. And I think with everything that's going on with disclosure and stuff like that, I honestly think what happened yesterday, the other day there, with the Miami thing, it was used. It was used to try and turn the public away from this Jeffrey Epstein island. Exactly. And I honestly do think that. Because the stuff that's coming out of there, I mean, Jesus Christ, have you seen the celebrities that have been there?
You gotta be careful because there's a lot of those lists going around that are fabricated. And this is going to be a very sensitive topic, not only for the victims, but for individuals who may have gone to Epstein's Island but had no clue what the hell was going on.
Have you seen the people that have already photoshopped people sitting in Jeffrey Eyes? You can clearly see it's photoshopped. I mean, there's one of Donald Trump, and he's got his suit on, his presidential badge, and all that kind of stuff, sitting with the women, remember? And this is what people don't get. And there's so many stupid people that believe so much utter shit.
Exactly.
So on the internet. Hey, Pete, son of the naked Bigfoot, good to see you, man.
Yeah. Here's the thing. These days, it does not take much to stir up a controversy like this because people will buy into it. Yeah. Even those people that are trying to say, oh, they're all dedicated to finding the truth and all that. Yeah. Look here. Here's an analogy I thought of. This came to my brain the other day, and I thought would be perfect, okay? Chest pains. Obviously, can be a very scary thought, especially with the jibby jab. But sometimes those scary chest pains are nothing but gas bubbles. Nothing but shit.
Yeah.
And while, yes, it would be wise that if you genuinely fear that you are having a medical emergency to get medical attention, but sometimes a little bit of yoga and relaxation, calm the fuck down. Why is my camera blurring?
Oh, that's quite interesting. I've noticed a lot of weird anomalies in you in the past couple of weeks, actually. See the videos that you've been doing, there's been a lot of weird stuff happening.
I know!
In your background.
I know. I mean, there's that one little anomaly that showed up, like, right over my shoulder, right about there.
I've seen that. I've seen the video.
All that's right there is a light switch. I had the door shut so the cats would leave me alone, somewhat. No one was moving around in the house. It just kept ducking out. All that's behind there is a closet, and I don't hide anybody in there.
Yeah. I think the anomalies about you, I think, is weird.
I'm going to say been picking up lately, though.
It's ever since that show that we did, you were on, there was some weird stuff going on. That was at Christmas time. Remember the show we did, and there's some just weird stuff going on. And I noticed it is picking up more. I noticed the UFO sightings are getting more and more. Then you seen that extraterrestrial on the side of the road. Curiosity, what was he wearing? What did he have on?
All I could tell is that it had on some kind of robe.
Hey, it wasn't like a beige kind of robe, no. But I'll get into that after the show.
No, I know you already sent me this message. I will say this.
I forgot about that.
Because I know there's already been people that have been asking me for updates. Lulu's one of them. She happened to message me right as I was getting home to start recording that it was happening. But it was purely gray. It looked like it had some sort of shimmer to it. I don't know if that was... It was materialized enough to where it caught my high beams. It caught my headlights. Which interesting in itself because it wasn't foggy or anything like that to where it would be easily a projector. Weather was actually nice. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I saw. I have a couple ideas. I was describing what it looked like, but nevertheless.
It's quite interesting because it's not just that. I've got some friends in the kind of UFO field that do the kind of psychic kind of stuff, and they've been saying things lately, and it's quite interesting. They keep going on about the Anunnaki and all this kind of stuff. I mean, I do more ghosty stuff. Everybody kens I do more ghosty stuff and that, but I did alien stuff too. I did alien stuff too, but not as much as obviously Dakota does. And some of the psychics have been coming to me and they've been saying to me about the Anunnaki, they're returning, the Anunnaki are returning. What's your theory on that? I know that they're right, but what's your theory on this? Because a lot of psychics out there are saying that
here's the thing:
the Anunnaki are returning and the gods are coming, Planet X is coming, but I don't think Planet X is what it is. I think it's something else. I think it's like a station or something like that.
There's probably going to be a couple of people in the chat that are going to claim Planet X was a psyop and all that. It was taken advantage of as such, but Nibiru is back. It's a ship. It's a big ass ship. But you also got to acknowledge one thing, and there's something that a lot of people go to ignore because they want themselves to be right and not actually do any fucking investigation.
Yeah.
I can't remember the specific conditions, but Nibiru is actually a translation of the planet Jupiter.
I heard
where the Nibiru ship is parked.
Yes, it's behind. I heard that it's behind Jupiter, so it's obviously you can't see it now. But I was told that it was big, really big.
It's about the size of a dwarf planet.
Yeah, big, a wee bit bigger than the moon. They're saying that it's absent. It's got different layers and God knows what.
All considering most of the Anunnaki. What's short in Anunnaki is about 7 feet tall.
Yeah. The Planet X, I've read all the Zachariah Sitchin books. Right, I've got them. They're out there. Can't see them, but they're out there on a shelf. I've read all the Zachariah Time Began and all that kind of stuff about Planet X and all that. I don't believe that it's actually a planet that comes into the solar system. I think it's something else.
Mm-hmm.
I think obviously the ancients, you think about it, it's all the thousands of years ago, right? You think about it when man was kind of Stone Age kind of type material, he's seen this ginormous thing coming. What would you think? You would think, oh, look at that, it's a big planet. Oh, it's a big planet. But obviously now we ken that it's something else. It's propelled, it's got motion, it's got engines, it's got power source, it's been built. Okay, I mean, I think something is about to happen. I don't know if it's a false flag for the government. I know everything's starting to wind up to the Project Blue Beam, and everything's winding up to the UFO events, and they're saying there's got to be a fake alien invasion while the government bombs cities and blame it on the wee extraterrestrial dudes that are actually fine. They're nice. Yeah, I mean, and they're going to blame it on them, and then the one world government will get built, and the world will unite to fight the alien menace. Because let's face it, that's what they want. They want a one world government, so as they can control you. Because let's face it, the American dollar is about to collapse.
It's pretty much shit. What are you talking about?
The pound, the American dollar, the euro, it's not got long to go. I'll tell you, and a lot of people don't realise this, the Chinese money is at the yen, and the Russian ruble are actually higher right now than the dollar, the euro, and the pound. And think about that. They're at war right now. Russia's at war and stuff like that right now. And you would think it would be the other way around about. But I'm thinking they're planning something. And keep people... What's your opinion? Is it the 7 days of darkness? I've got a theory for this. I've got a theory about that. What's your opinion?
7 days of darkness.
Everybody's saying that the sun's going to go away and there's got to be 7 days of darkness. And nobody's to go to their doors and you've not to let anybody in and all this kind of bullshit.
Okay, first off, if the sun were gone that long, we'd be done for.
Of course we would. Of course we would. Oh, look at this.
Hotter than the surface of the sun.
Your
to where
internet
it
dropped.
physically turned the night sky to daylight. It was that fucking powerful. That would not work out. All these Bible bashers and blue beamers, y'all gotta really research your
Yeah,
stuff before you open
yeah.
your fucking mouths.
I'm going to say this one thing: your internet dropped for about 10 seconds
Doesn't
to zero.
surprise me.
Right. Second thing is, this is my theory about the 7 days of darkness. It's no 7 days of darkness as the sun going away. What happens if it's 7 days of the internet going away?
Watch for the anarchy.
Exactly. Can you imagine the anarchy that would follow if the internet stopped working for 7 days?
I mean, think about it. We have everything connected to the internet. We have phones, computers, refrigerators.
Everything.
Everything has some sort of connection with the internet. What happens when you cut off support when the world relies on one resource? When you cut it off.
Here, I'll give you a scenario. I live next to one of Scotland's biggest wind farms, right? I know one of the guys that run it. I've seen in the control room that controls the 200 and odd windmills, right? And he told me, he says it's run, all those windmills are run by one computer that's connected to the internet. And there's a guy in London or Edinburgh, one person that controls that, right? And I says to him, I says, what would happen if the internet stopped? And he says, well, we've got backups, but the backups only last for like a day. If the internet goes out, it automatically cuts the power. And if it's really stormy weather, the brakes fail in the turbines.
Mm-hmm.
So they could basically get blown down. They could get destroyed.
Ooh,
But it's not just that. Power stations are run by the internet now. Everything is connected to the internet. Cars are connected to the internet. Look at Tesla. I mean, but I'm going to have to bring up that film that was released in Netflix. What was it called again?
Leave the world behind.
Leave the world behind. Now, this is a good segue to come into this, right? This is a good segue because what is your opinion on that? I've seen clippets yet. I've not seen the whole film. What is your opinion on that?
I haven't seen it myself, but I do know that Elon has stepped forward to address the Tesla scenes.
Mm-hmm.
That he does say there are backups in place to try to prevent that, but it's kind of hard to test for that type of scenario. But again, a lot of that, what's behind that film, the allure of it, if you will, is the fact that the main producers are Barack and Michelle Obama.
What do you mean, Michael?
Yeah.
Because that's an interesting subject itself. I mean, did you see the speech that he gave the other day there, where he says, "I can walk down the street with my husband, Michael"? Yes.
And there's old letters that have been proven to be authenticated where Obama did say he had fantasies about having sex with a man.
I mean,
if that's what he's into, you know,
I mean,
that's a choice.
Look, it's whatever he's into, kind of thing. But here's the interesting thing about leave the world behind. That's what would happen if the internet went out for 7 days. Anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
You think about it, everything would go down. Ships would run aground, planes would crash, and people are saying, "Oh, but how would planes crash and all that?" Look, if somebody hacked into the internet, you could do anything. See the big 747s? The guy down the road from me flies he's a pilot. I was talking to him about this, and he tells us, he says, "See the new 747s, the big ones." He says those things fly themselves. Basically, it's all GPS, right?
Mm-hmm.
He says if you hacked into that, you could control one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You could control it. I think something's coming because the British government have started saying to the people, "Oh, you should stock up in tinned food, candles, and batteries, and have a radio." And it's either that for war with Christ knows who, or it's something that's going to happen. I think this year something's going to happen on the internet.
Something big's getting ready to go down.
We're starting explaining.
If that's what we're going, if that's how we're actually opening up with 2024 so far, definitely makes you wonder, doesn't it? So Unexplained goes 90% of all DC deep sea internet cables, dear God, run past Ireland, where the Russians have reportedly been very interested in over the past few months, all in international waters. Very true. They can be there, international waters. The law only applies to what country your ship's flag is flying. That's kind of the law behind that.
A lot of people think, right, we're talking, you're in America and I'm talking the new, and everybody thinks this is going through satellite and stuff like that, but it's no, I'm actually, when I speak, it's going right under the sea and out the other side. That's how quick it is. But there's actually, I think there's 3 underground main cables for the United Kingdom, Ireland, to the United States. So if one fails, obviously you've got another 2 backup. But if they were cut, I mean, let's think about this. If they were cut, which would probably be quite easy, all you would need is like a submarine, let's say, and explosives or something like that, to take those cables out. The sheer madness that was ensue, then people were like, oh, but the satellites. No. The financial system, the New York Exchange and stuff, uses the cables. It's the most secure way. You can't transmit it through satellites because it's hackable. Whereas it's a cable, it's more secure. Right? If that was cut, I'm telling you, can you imagine people not able to get on to Facebook for 1 hour, 7 days?
First off, there's this little meme I keep seeing going around. It's in regards to TikTok. Doesn't directly say it's TikTok, but you know it's TikTok from when you go to say it. Country releases an application that promotes teenagers' accounts more than anybody else. Boosts their views.
Yeah.
Kids go to do stupid stunts, gain more followers, views go up, while everybody else goes to struggle. More kids see that, they get addicted to the likes.
Yeah.
Start doing even more stupid stunts. Take that away. I have a smoke alarm going off right now.
It'll not be long, ladies and gentlemen. Someone is burning down his house. He'll be back shortly, guys. I'll just read the chat while you guys are here. Scottish Outlooker, welcome. Happy New Year to you, sir. What's that? Unexplained. Let's just bring you up a wee bit there. 90% of the Atlantic cables, even one of the cables goes down, the internet would struggle. Of course it would. Of course it would struggle. I mean, I've seen programs and they're talking about the internet going down. Can you imagine society? I mean, everything's digital now. I mean, I still use money, paper money to buy stuff and that. But when you go to like banks or you go to a cafe, everything's like contactless, right? Imagine you couldn't do that. I mean, let's face it, this society knew everybody's wanting to go as a get rid of money and just have it all digital currency. So if the internet went down, you wouldn't be able to use that internet currency. You wouldn't be able to buy food. You wouldn't be able to buy anything. The trucks wouldn't deliver to the supermarkets because they wouldn't ken what they needed. You know, what happened? Did somebody say fire something?
No, they're cooking.
Oh, what's that? Unexplained says undersea cables are hackable. Check out Operation Ivy Bills. I will.
Everything's hackable these days. You gotta remember
that. Everything's hackable now. I watched an interesting program the other night about the US nuclear defense system. Do you know if the internet goes down, in theory, they could be launched by mistake? Because they would think, because there's like, they all communicate, all the nuclear silos, the 2 people that are in each bunker all communicate through the internet, right? Telephone system, right? See if the internet goes down, they'll lose contact with the White House and they'll be, oh shit. Why can we not get the White House? We've got a hard line to the White House and we can't get nothing. Right, launch, and they put their keys in, turn and launch them. I mean, people don't realize that the nuclear defense in the United States is run by really old hackable computers.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean really old, floppies. I mean, a 5-year-old could hack it if they wanted to. Well, it's easy. See, this is why you need a total overhaul of the nuclear system. You know what I mean?
It is kind of a scary thought, and when you really think about it, how just fragile this world actually is. When you think about it, I mean, we're a world that's addicted to war. We're fragile infrastructure all around, financial, technological, all around. Nevertheless,
right. Here's an interesting scenario: nuclear power stations. If the internet goes down in a nuclear power station, right, it shuts down because it'll detect that there's. You've seen the world without people, right? It'll detect that there's nobody there, right? So people will try and keep it running to keep the grid up, but the grid will fail. Let's face it, with internet and everything running it. A nuclear power station can last for up to 2 weeks. Some nuclear power stations can last longer because of the fuel generators that they've got, right?
Mm-hmm.
How's that fuel going to get delivered if you can't get fuel? But people will be like, oh, but just turn off the nuclear power station. It doesn't work like that. You've got these things called, what you call it, the rods are kept, the plutonium's kept and stuff like that, uranium and stuff's kept. It's got to be kept in water, and it's got to be constantly water to keep it cool. It's got to keep it, that's what the generators are for. If they fail, you've got like a nuclear meltdown. And people are like, oh, well, it'll take a couple of weeks to cool down. No, it doesn't take a couple of weeks to cool down. It takes a long time for it to cool down. Look what happened in Japan when the earthquake hit that and the diesel generators failed. They had a meltdown.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's, 2 nuclear power stations in Scotland.
There's
2 nuclear power stations in Scotland. I think, no, there's one. Is there? No, there's 2. I can't remember. It's either 1 or 2. I think there's one near me, Dunbar. I can't remember what the other one is. It's like down south. But, yeah, the internet goes down, it'll be pandemonium. You won't be able to buy gas, food. It'll just go to shit.
Then you'll have all these people, that only focus on themselves. And granted, most of them are just trying to, get by, get their groceries and all this. They're going to start getting frustrated. Mob mentality takes over. People are going to get hurt.
Well, the internet went down, last year in my village. It was only down for like maybe an hour. Nobody could get their lottery tickets. Nobody could use contactless. Nobody could make an appointment at the doctors because they didn't have. They used to use pen and paper, but no anymore. Nobody could basically do anything. Everything ground to a complete and utter halt. Even the water, guys, the water going to your house right now is pumped there with the electricity. So the grid goes down. You're not getting any water. It's like a domino effect. That's what it's like. It's like a domino effect. It's a scary thing. And I think that's what the 7 days of darkness is. I think it's, or the 10 days of darkness, or whatever people want to say it is. I think it's an internet blackout. And then when everybody comes out it, the world will be totally different. Because let's face it, they could do anything. They could say, when the internet went down, it wiped all YouTube servers, it wiped all the information, it wiped everything. So all these conspiracy channels, all these big conspiracy channels that are actually right, could just disappear.
Oh, yeah. All the bonkers could just disappear.
Everything would disappear. There'll be people out saying, aye, but I've got records on my hard drives and stuff like that. Very true. You could start it all back up again. But then you don't know what laws will be passed and stuff like that for it when it comes back. Because let's face it, it will be like a Mad Max scenario when it comes back up. Loads of folk can't get onto Facebook and stuff like that. It'll be mad.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be mad. You know? Hey, it's a scary thought, guys. It's a scary thought.
It is.
So what else is new and happening in the world?
I think those are the major topics going on right now.
What's this? Oh, society that's on TikTok. They know everybody's talking about it. They're saying that the core of the planets are heating up. The Mars's core's heating up. Everywhere's heating up, and the Earth's got to turn into a giant flaming ball, and everybody's going to die in 7 years' time. I think that's, again, I would like to say, I think that is. I think it's different. I think people are trying to. What's the word I'm looking here? It's fear tactics.
Fear porn.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're gonna get flagged because I just said porn.
Alan, stop listening.
Oh, he's gonna be beaten with a
Avert your
crucifix,
eyes.
isn't he?
Put your hands against your ears. You never heard that. You'll never heard that. You'll be
Put
fine.
your hands against your ears. Avert your eyes from your screen.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Hands on your ears and nowhere else.
Yeah, but I will say this: I do want to come back to that Jeffrey Epstein thing because that's just the people involved in that. Jesus.
Oh, fuck! It's getting bad, and there's still more names to be brought out.
There's still there. I mean, Stephen Hawkins. Obviously, it was the obviously. I shouldn't be laughing at this, but obviously, it was there before he went in the wheelchair. Unless he was there when he was in the wheelchair.
There's photos of him there in a wheelchair.
I mean, it took him about an hour and a half to write out a sentence.
I mean, I would. That's one of those things where I'd be curious to see the type of accommodations they use to keep the wheelchair from going all over in the plane.
That's actually really interesting. I mean, oh dear, what happened to that island? Is it obviously it's still there? Does MD own it anymore, or has it just been totally abandoned?
Not exactly sure.
That's a good point, isn't it? You look that up.
I'm actually gonna. What happens with Epstein Island?
It's a good point, that, isn't it? I mean, that's what happened. I mean, it is shocking. Prince Andrew, he was there too. I mean, Jesus. There's actually quite a few people that was there, and
it's dear God, someone's going to turn it into a resort. Little St. James Island is.
Oh, there's Dots. Dots, you know about air brakes already? Air
brake.
My God, that man knows everything. He's probably booking himself in right now.
No, apparently, St. James Island is under new ownership, and the new finance and the new owners are going to try to turn it into a resort island.
Wow, what they calling it?
I don't know. I don't know how.
Pedo World.
I don't know how they could possibly rebrand from that.
I can see the big cruise ships, the new coming up in, you know.
Think about it. To kind of shift it into supernatural territory. Yeah, unfortunately, Trump was on the list as well.
I seen that.
Clinton more so, and ironically, some of the people that already tried to name that the Clintons were on that list are dead. But just think, I just had a thought. It's kind of scary, but it could kind of shift it into kind of the ghosty supernatural side of things.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the type of hauntings that would be on that island?
Oh, Dakota, you've got a terrible mind.
No, think about it. Any severe case of like poltergeist and potentially even demonic attachments, 9 times out of 10, there's severe cases of abuse going on. I'm not saying to go there to try to exploit it for ghosts. I'm just saying, can you imagine if someone were to reestablish that, what kind of hauntings could stir up?
Well, can you imagine sleeping in the same building where this went on? Where people were forced to do these things?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was actually talking to somebody in the but the women weren't made to do these things. It says the women were on this island, they had no choice in the matter. They were on an island. What were they meant to do? Swim to land?
You got to remember, The flight logs show there's plenty of girls that went to the island and never left.
I know that. Mm-hmm.
There's
So what
people
happened
still
to them?
unaccounted for.
Yeah.
Sex
It makes you
trade.
wonder how much bodies are buried on the island or has been dumped into the sea. There's actually John Morris. Trump wasn't on the list for going to the island. Only flew plane once from Florida to New York. He never met. He was staying ever again after that. He didn't like him. So there you go.
Yeah. But still, there's plenty of people that are coming out saying that everybody knew that something was off about Epstein.
I'm going to say this now. I mean, you've got all this carry on with Pizzagate and all this kind of stuff. Okay, I mean, it's getting out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
It needs the needle. I'm telling you, it needs to be cleaned up. All this needs to be put to a stop. See all this behaviour, running about women and stuff like that. It needs to stop.
But
It's
here's
not
the
just
thing.
women; it's men too that have been doing things to
here's
children.
The thing. People are trying to say, "Oh, the women are the innocent parties in all this," and yes, there's innocent victims in this. Women should take over the world because they would never be happy. Look how many fucking women are on that list.
I know.
Oprah, Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, Jesus Christ, we know Oprah gets ties with
Cher.
Christ knows us. Look at Oprah. Look at Oprah with Hawaii and the blue roofs fiasco with all the trees, everything that burnt down.
Look
the
at
child smuggling
Oprah's
rings.
spiritual guru who was sentenced to 90 years in prison for sex trafficking.
Aye. She's probably supplied that island. Look, it will all come out eventually, but when it does come out, it'll be too late because everybody will be dead. Because they're too old.
Something else, I guess, would technically tie into this. Have you seen this bit about the Cat Williams interview he did?
No.
Where he publicly outed people for being in the Illuminati and their common trade practices?
No, I never seen that.
Oh, it's been all over. He admitted that there's people that take on these deals that'll get him this beautiful, lighter-skinned wife that never does an interview, and they'll get all of these movies and be set for life. All these celebrities, ever since that interview, are freaking out about the stuff he talked about.
Just look at the Rock, how he helped Oprah going about the Hawaii incident and tried to make money off it.
The Rock looked awfully uncomfortable for the promos stuff he did.
See, what's his name come out and talked about it? What's his name? Him that does. What's his name? What's the film? He's under the sea. Oh, he's one of the superheroes. What do you call him? He used to be in a Stargate Atlantis. He used to be in Stargate Atlantis.
Momoa.
Ah, right. You see how he came out and talked about it, about her and The Rock. How he said there was strange things. I think he knows what's going on. I think there's a lot of actors out there that know what's going on. They've walked away from it. They've refused it, and then they've died. Some of them have died just mysteriously.
Some of them. I mean, look at the story about Isaac Cappy. It's a story we brought up. He wasn't exactly big, but he was starting to get out there. He was starting to break the mold. He was start doing Marvel movies, and Seth Green, also on the list, approaches him about needing to talk about chicken, which has been found to be code word for pedophile rings.
Yeah.
And there's been Obama, who has allegedly, for the sake of argument, and that'll end up in a mysterious car crash here in the near future, ordered a large amount of hot dogs and pizzas for a top secret party at the White House.
Yeah. You just need to look at President, what's his name? What's that guy you've got to know, the complete idiot? Biden.
Let's talk about him. Why
he likes sniffing things. I've noticed that. He likes to sniff things. Did you see what he did at a rally? Oh, I think it was about a month ago. He was, or it was no as long as that. He walked up to somebody and he says, you look, what is it? He says, you look younger, or was it older or something he said to the young girl. She was like, you look 19, and she was only 14 or something.
Yeah. let's talk about Mr. Biden here. Why is it that all of a sudden Tim Ballard, after publicly outing Biden for not doing anything about the kids being trafficked over the border, why is
Yeah.
it all of a sudden Ballard had several anonymous women trying to claim that he was sexually assaulting him? He was sexually harassing him.
Yeah.
Awfully convenient that those accusations start coming out 3 days later.
Do you not find it strange that how some actors, just like really good actors that are in the field, die mysteriously?
Because they tried to come out.
What was that guy's name? He was in Star Trek, but he was also in. He was in. Remember the new Star Trek?
Oh yeah.
The young boy, but he also
The
did a
younger,
paranormal film where it was Ken demons or something. He was fighting. You could
yeah,
see the dead.
there
He's running
was.
out of
I
then.
believe the official. I can't remember what his name was, but the official explanation was some sort of brake failure with his Jeep, but he ended up getting crushed to death.
Aye, no. What I heard was that it was parked in his drive and it reversed out of the tap of him.
Yeah, that there was some sort of brake failure and it crushed him. That was the official explanation.
Yeah.
And there's like Paul Walker, who was allegedly looking into sex trafficking rings before he died. And if you look carefully inside of the video of before his Ferrari blew up, he could have very well still been alive.
Scottish Outlook of the Poltergeist movie had a few actors who died shortly after filming it. It's quite interesting he mentions that movie because there was a lot of folk.
There's a lot of horror films that have stories like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at The Exorcist.
Well, let's go slightly newer with the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Mm-hmm.
Based on a video game about haunted animatronics that were killing people. Story is that children were being murdered and stuffed into these animatronics, and that's what got them possessed.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. Apparently, one of the animatronics started moving on its own.
Yeah, I heard that.
They were all remote controlled.
What's his
They
name?
are all remote controlled.
What's the guy's name? What's his name? He played that new vampire film that came out not long ago. Renfield. Did you know that was in that?
Nicholas Hoult wasn't in it.
Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage was in one, and it's the one where the kids were killed and put in the animatronics. And
he was. It was a similar movie, yes, but that's not the same one.
Is that not the same one? I thought that was the same one. There you go. You learn something new every day.
No, the killer in
I don't watch many
the
movies.
movie was Matthew Lillard, the guy who played Scooby-Doo. Shaggy in live-action Scooby-Doo movies.
It's a lot of good actors out there mysteriously die, and I think if you turn around and say I'm no standing for this, I'll stay quiet, but I'm no standing for this, and you'll die mysteriously. I really do think that.
The ones who knew about it but shut up, they still lived. The ones who trying to make active efforts to try to expose it were the ones that ended up getting killed.
Do you ever watch The Tonight Show? Oh, what's that guy's name? Is it? Oh, Jesus! It's based out of Hollywood.
Doesn't limit it down.
It's like The Tonight Show. I think
Kimmel?
it's The Tonight Show. I can't remember.
You talking Jimmy Kimmel?
Aye, that's him. He had a guest there, a pop star on. A couple of, you can look this up on YouTube. And she came on. I can't remember her name. She came on to talk about her album, and on the album it's her standing, and she's like that, and then she's like standing like that, and in it there's the all-seeing eye. Mm-hmm. And she says to everybody in the audience, "Oh, do you want me to tell you what that means?" And he's like, "No." And she's like, "Oh no, I'll tell everybody what that means." And she's like, "Don't, no." And switch on to something else. Aye.
Mm-hmm.
Look what happened to what's his name that played the Grinch?
Jim Carrey, yeah.
Jim Carrey. Look what happened. Was it his wife?
His girlfriend.
But look what happened.
He started talking. He started talking, and his girlfriend ended up dead.
Yeah.
Something that really almost pushed him over the edge.
Mm-hmm. Because they started saying, "Oh, this isn't real. This is all artificial."
Exactly. And that's why a lot of these actors are freaking out about Cat Williams, because he full on said that he and Ludacris were invited to an Illuminati thing,
Yeah,
and Ludacris was the one who got a move, who got a special deal that said he had to lose certain types of facial hair, that he
yeah.
would make like over $200 million at $2 million a movie for a franchise that's going to have 20 movies. And the first thing he does is, how many Fast and Furious movies are out there now?
This is what I'm going to say now. Somebody sent me this link ages ago, and I watched it, and I thought, again, there is something weird there. You ever heard the conspiracy with the celebrities that have all had the cast on their foot? You know what I'm talking about? It's always like either the left or the right foot. I can't remember what one it is. And all these celebrities, every one of them's had this cast in the right foot.
Yeah, there's a version of it where it's their left eye that's bruised. They have a black eye.
Yeah.
And Roseanne Barr got to talk about it in an interview. She did. And everybody was like, "Oh my God, Roseanne Barr is one of them." Blah, blah, blah. She's like, "Some people are just fucking clumsy, you idiots."
Aye, but that is a lot of people. It's a lot, and it's only celebrities that have got the it's like the boot. It's like one of the medical ones that you get.
First off, you got to take into consideration, okay?
Aye.
It's not just celebrities. The celebrities are the ones that are just more in the public eye.
That's very true. It could trip out or something a little bit.
Yeah, they're on stage. Look how much Harrison Ford's been hurting himself lately.
It's like, what's it? Tania there. What was it? The Red Shoe, the boot. Then the Scottish Outlook car. Was it the Red Shoe Club? I've heard about that. Or the Black Eye was another. Yeah. Look, the famous folk are all Illuminati. I'm going to say it. If I disappear, Dakota will be looking for a new co-host, so you can put your reservations in or whatever. I'm going to say this now. Hollywood and the movie industry is full of Illuminati.
Full of them, yes. But
it's all connected.
The main distinction is when someone has a career that boosts up out of nowhere, is usually an indicator that they did something.
Yeah.
Not all the celebrities are into that stuff. They're the ones you usually don't see out there being promoted and all that. I mean, look at Ricky Gervais. He outed so many people. He just had a new Netflix special, and Netflix didn't even bother to promote it.
Yeah, because
the reason he got promotion because everybody was trying to cancel it.
He did that speech at the Golden Globes or whatever it was.
I'm shocked he's still fucking alive after that one.
That was the most epic speech in history. I mean, he actually mentioned the Epstein Island and stuff like that, and he said, "Oh, your friends and stuff like that." Look at what's his name? That Forrest Gump. He was at that.
How many of them were starting to shy away? Mm-hmm. That was a fucking dead giveaway of how many. It's not all of them, but it is a good majority. Tom Hanks, he is tied into a lot of shit. I gotta be careful what I say because he likes to come up to Idaho for vacation.
Yeah, I think we need to dive deeper into this tomorrow with tomorrow's show. We need to dive deeper into the kind of. It's not just the movie industry. I mean, you've got the paranormal side of that. You've got a lot of problems in the paranormal side too, and the UFO side. Paranormal Predators. Remember, we did that show.
And ironically, didn't he make a little joke about him being in the Illuminati?
He did actually. He did. And did you not know that is actually a thing? If you join the Illuminati, you have to tell everybody.
You can tell everybody, but you can also hide it, and most people would just assume it's creative.
Right. I'm going to say this. We'll get into this more than more. We're going to talk about maybe the paranormal, and we're going to talk about things that's happened in the paranormal, but we're also going to talk about things that's happened in the movie world with people. It's a subject that we need to get into. On Monday night, I'm doing a show with Jenny talking about predators and the paranormal. We've actually got a guest for that. We'll be talking about that. There's too much of this now. It's getting ridiculous. Look at it. Look, it's everywhere now. As Trump says, we do need to drain the swamp. It is getting ridiculous now.
Here's
the amount of abuse people are getting put up against.
Here's the thing, though. This reminds me of something that a teacher I had in high school used to say. Is it that the world is getting worse, that we have all this going on? Or is it the fact that we're just starting to realize it?
I think
we're actually starting to acknowledge it, actually talking about it.
I think it's been going on for a very long time behind closed doors. And new modern society, obviously, you get technology like this and that, is opening it up. It is opening it up.
Mm-hmm.
And people are out there, you get the old-fashioned people out there where men are men and men should do this and men are the boss and men are this. No, come on. It's a modern civilization now. We've got women can do the same stuff as men can do. I ken there's some stuff that they can't do and stuff like that. But come on. Seriously. There's some really talented people out there that work in the paranormal field that are women, that do a better job than some men. And that's what I think. I think that's what does it. I honestly think that's why they treat them like shit. Because they're jealous. I really do. And I think we're going to get more into this tomorrow. Which that, yes, because we're learning about, we can figure out how to prevent it from happening again.
Thank you. There's a lot. Thank you, Tatiana. I'll say that. Thank you. I've been saying that for a while. All these people that go to try to say, Dakota, you shouldn't talk about this low vibrational stuff. We have to acknowledge that it was there so we don't repeat the same fuck-ups.
Yeah. I think men have got away with it for a long time. Being sexist. Being what they are, nasty. Right? I'm a man, you're a man, I'm a man. You know what I mean? But there's some ways that are sticking up for the women and stuff like that. And it's absolutely terrible how some women have been treated just because they're really good at what they do.
Here's the thing. There's another thing we got to acknowledge. We want equal opportunities for everybody, regardless of race, sex, gender, sexual identity, all that. Understandable. We need to allow everybody to have the similar opportunities that actually gets off their ass and does it. But we also have to acknowledge that because women are often seen as the victims, there's a lot of women who are also big-time perpetrators that contribute to this a hell of a lot more.
Exactly.
You have women like Ghislaine Maxwell. Look how much she contributed to this fucking bullshit. Oprah, you wouldn't think a woman like that who advocates for women's rights would often traffic young girls.
Yeah. It's women have to be held responsible too. Right. I understand that. But there is a lot of men, and there is a lot of men, and not just the paranormal field, everywhere, that are sexist pricks. Let's just face it that way, right? It's just the way they are, right? That needs to end. It needs to end. We need to work together for a better future. Okay, I mean, you think about it. If there's a kid looking at his dad and he sees his dad treating the woman really bad, right? Maybe he'll grow up and treat his wife or his girlfriend that way. What's that there?
Yeah, don't. It's spam.
Oh, is that what that is?
I already read through it. It's spam. That long ass one.
We got spam, guys. You can't see your chat in the corner, but you'll get banned probably shortly. But look, we'll get more into this tomorrow. But it is a subject that we need to talk about because there's too many arseholes out there getting away with stuff. And they know the other men they'll stand behind the man that's in question and they go, "Oh, he didn't do that. I would never do that." Look, I don't experience these people. So, yeah. So anyway, that's a show for tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'll say it. I'll say my thoughts on this. No two individuals are truly equal.
Yeah.
We all have our strengths and weaknesses, but the one thing that has allowed humanity to be able to survive through every major calamity, every major disaster, is us coming together regardless.
Yes.
It shouldn't matter if it's a woman or a man. If they're putting in the honest work, then go for it. That's it.
No. Like, it's like, what's that? If we all work together, we get there. That's exactly, Dodds. Exactly. But you do get individuals in this world that think they're all high and mighty, and they expect people to do stuff for them, and they don't give anything in return. And then when somebody complains, they get made a arsey and nasty to them, and then the other people don't believe unless you record something. Get what I mean? This is the madness here. Get what I mean? And it just really annoys me. The paranormal field and the UFO field, guys, who are doing this to these people, stop it, because we're just seeing right through, and honestly, I'm shocked at that, and I'm disgusted about the way you've been acting, and that's what I'm going to say about that part.
Unfortunately, like we said, there comes a point where we didn't want to acknowledge it, but there's too much coming forward.
I know, but what can you do? It needs to be put a stop to. It needs to now. I mean, we're meant to be a technologically advanced human race now. You know what I mean? And social. There's still racism. The racism out there is absolutely disgraceful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and there's people out there that say, "Ooh, I'm no racist," but behind closed doors, when they don't think they're getting seen, they say stuff. Yeah. I'm no sexist, but behind closed doors, when they don't think they're getting heard, they say stuff. Mm-hmm. Thinking that they're big, saying things. And saying things about people with depression and stuff like that, which I'm not going to...
People with depression trying to accuse others of being immature just because, they're younger.
Yeah. I'll be discussing this on Monday night with Jenny on Paranormal Uncut, and we've got a guest to talk about this that's had first-hand experience in this kind of matter. But you'll need to tune in tomorrow night, as we will talk more about Jeffrey Einstein's island of terribleness, probably. And we'll also be talking about other things happening around the world,
Who knows? At this rate, we might have alien invasion by tomorrow for how crazy this year's already starting out,
Who wants to pick me up first? I'm not caring,
Yeah, get me out of here.
Right. Catch you later, dudes. And Dakota, what you saying?
No, just much love. Stay safe, y'all. I hope y'all had awesome holidays, regardless of whether or not you celebrate. 2024 is going to be an interesting one. So let's get going.
quick question.
Are we?
We're live right now. At the very in that trailer, you've got the alien line with the oxygen mask on. Is that an alien in the pod?
No. That is actually recovered footage from Miami of
Yes.
the aliens after it was brutally shot. No, it's just
Yes. It was
stock
shot
footage.
300 times by one police officer.
It was stock footage of a fucking. It was just stock footage of what it looked like a cheap recreation of the end of ET.
And I also heard too the police officers in Miami beat to death one of the other aliens repeatedly with rubber batons. Like,
Yeah, no,
see this, guys. Honestly,
here's another one. My mother fell for this one. How about the 9 to 10 feet tall, shape-shifting gray blobby things now suddenly turn into xenomorphs? I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, there are some people, very talented people, who have a hobby of creating computer-generated videos. And one such individual created a very, very impressive looking video of what looks like security camera footage of a xenomorph walking by.
Yeah.
Someone has added effects to it to try to say that was the footage out of Miami. Dear God!
Look, there's people in Canada saying they were there. They're standing in the snow and they're like, oh yeah, I'm only 500 yards from the scene right now. And then you're looking at the guy and there's pine trees in the background and snow. I'm sorry, but it doesn't snow in Miami.
Very rarely it does. And you would be seeing a lot of dead iguanas on the ground. There's been a couple times it did snow down in Florida. It got cold enough to where those poor guys froze.
I'm going to say this now. I'm not saying nothing did happen. I'm not saying something did happen. But what I'm going to say is this. I'm going to wait till I see the police body cam footage. Right? And I can tell you something right now. I don't think aliens visited the mall. I seen a psychic on TikTok today. Oh, the Galactic Federation of Light have came to me. Lena, if you're watching this, you'll like this. The Galactic Federation of Light came to me. And they told me when they were dialing in the teleportation device, they accidentally got it out by one digit and they spawned in them all. They were going to Antarctica.
I mean, I've heard of stories of grays in disguise shopping at Walmart. And that's someone who's worked at Walmart before. I can see that.
There's a lot of strange people at Walmart. Come on. In the UK, we've got Asda, which is owned by Walmart, and it's the exact same shop. And I can tell you something right now. There's some strange people go to Asda. I'm just going to say that once. I've seen some really, really strange people. I've went down for like stuff late at night, and I've seen some really strange things. There's my dog barking now, Tessie. Might be the Miami aliens.
Oh yeah, they don't like us talking about them. Dear Lord. Hey, here's the thing.
My God, there's a portal opening.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that bothers me.
What?
Some of these people who are trying to claim that they were at the scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them have actually come forward and said, "Oh, I was just BS, and I wanted to see how many of you would believe it." Then everybody was immediately like, "Oh, the 3-letter agencies got to him. The 3-letter agencies got to him."
Men in Black again. Men in Black are sitting probably watching this and they're thinking, Jesus Christ, these two ideas. But come on, honestly, the aliens didn't happen in Miami. I'm going to bring up another subject. What's that, Rev, Melissa? Do you know it's fake? The aliens.
What the hell do aliens need with one of our malls?
Look, I'm going to say this now. I don't judge aliens. If aliens want to shop in malls, if they want to come down from the planetary ships that they're on to buy a new pair of sneakers or maybe the latest iPhone or something, let them. They're allowed to. I think alien freedom.
I don't know. Some of these. Speaking of Elena, I saw this one guy on fucking Twitter that was arguing with her. I'm sorry. He sounds like he writes fan fiction for the Men in Black movies.
Yeah. What's that? Rev in the chat there, she says, think some Amazon drivers are aliens. Well, the amount of Amazon packages I get, I've probably contributed to the Amazonian rainforest getting depleted. You know?
Stop while on their roots.
You froze. Oh my God, you're all pixelated. Your face changed there. It was a portal. It was opening up.
Talking about a random thing about Jeff Bezos, and all of a sudden my signal dropped. Ugh. That's it. Bezos is an alien.
That's that. He's sitting in his mothership, the nurse, and right, they two there. We need to deal with him swiftly and severely. You know.
Well, he is funny looking enough.
Talking about spaceships and stuff like that. What's your opinion on the James Webb Telescope? What's been released? 7 billion miles up. I think it's 700 billion miles away.
Christopher, I know you're at that age.
Yes, I know.
But you can't get the James Webb to do a colonoscopy on you. So quit fantasizing about it looking at Uranus.
Uranus is a beautiful planet. I know there's people out there thinking, what's this guy going on about? But I'll tell you something right now. The extraterrestrials that live out there now, there's bars all around about Jupiter and Uranus and stuff like that. I'm telling you, they're missing something. They're missing something. No, I'm serious here. What's your opinion on that? Do you think this is part of soft disclosure because they're saying that lights have been detected? I mean, it must be some heavy-duty telescope to detect that. There's a chemical in the atmosphere or something.
Well, no, James Webb is pretty heavy-duty. You got to consider that. One.
Yeah, because the Hubble's not even as powerful, is it?
No.
No.
James Webb can detect things that are way out of our visual spectrum, which the Hubble does not have the capability, allowing us to look farther back in time when it comes to the universe.
But what's your opinion on the planet with city lights? Could it be? Well, probably is.
It may be. You got to remember, dude, I've been helping take care of a 1 month old. So I'm a little behind on reading up on this stuff.
Have you not read up? You see this, ladies and gentlemen? Well, seemingly the James Webb Telescope has taken pictures of a supposed planet 700 billion miles away. Right, I don't know what that is in light years. Or is it 20,000 light years? I don't know. But seemingly it's detected lights of cities on an Earth-like planet. Now, let's look at it, right? I mean, it might be, and this might be part of soft disclosure here, by the way. This is to wake people up to say, oh, there's a civilization out there, there's a civilization. Why is my channel working right? It's not letting me scroll down. My chat, it was going up and down, and then it stopped. That's weird, that.
I don't know.
Specialist stuff. Here goes Dakota to cheat his way.
That's me, dude.
I know it's just. I'm tired.
I'm just trying. I'm just trying to read up on it.
It is interesting about the James Webb Telescope, about this planet, and everybody's talking about it on TikTok again. But they are saying that it's like city lights, and I don't see how they can detect something like that. Unless, obviously, they're just doing this to say, oh, there's extraterrestrials out there. Look, we all know that there's aliens out there. We all know there's aliens on the Earth. We all know that there's aliens everywhere, right? And there's ships in orbit and stuff like that. I'm telling you, they're going to come out with something very soon. Big disclosure coming.
Yeah, why do you think they're trying to take advantage of a bunch of dumbass kids in Miami in order to make fun of the idea of an aliens to come in here?
Yeah. They want this to happen. They want kids to say that they were there and they seen giant extraterrestrials running about.
Yeah, those kids, you wave enough money in front of them, they'll do anything for you.
You just need. Was it George Soros?
Know about it.
Just George Soros. Just look at George Soros. The kind of things that he was into. You know what I mean? The amount of money he gave to certain groups.
Look about you. Look about you and the little friends on Jeffrey Epstein's list. Can we talk about the fact that your name is on there?
Who?
You.
What?
You
What about me?
on Epstein's list.
Am I? Oh, what have you went and done? Have you went and photoshopped something or something?
No.
What have you went and done? See when he does things like this, you think he's going to like Photoshop things. I wish I had all the money to go there. To be honest with you, private jets and stuff like that. You know.
And you'd be like Danny DeVito. Yes, I was on a sex island, but I was there for the
Oh, let's face
snorkeling.
it. A lot
Why
of
did
them
I
have
do
been
the
there.
Trump hands and with like a
I'm
Reagan
go.
accent?
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. The new that island and all that kind of stuff. It's an absolute disgrace. And this, I honestly, they're using all these alien stuff as a cover because nobody's talking about it. Hardly anybody's talking about this island, Epstein's list. So this crazy, ginormous alien that was away shopping. You know?
No, it wouldn't surprise me. It's awfully funny that the ET stuff is coming out right as they're supposed to be Epstein revelations.
Oh, well, let's face it. What's more interesting, Pedophile Island or giant extraterrestrials that shop at Walmart?
For novelty, the ETs, but enough people have been affected by sexual predators in their lives. They're wanting to see they want to see justice.
That's why I'm going to be talking about it tomorrow in Ghost Squad Scotland and through this channel. I'm going to be talking about paranormal predators and paranormal bullies and the paranormal, not just the paranormal, also in the UFO community. We all know what happens when women do good and then men get jealous.
If women show anything of themselves online, dear God, the number of messages my mother gets from married police officers saying they want online girlfriends.
Could you remember the time we had Mike on and we were talking about
Paranormal titties.
Oh my God, that was the infinite episode. Pete, you need to go and watch that. So I'm going to say. But it was awesome. I want to jump back to the James Webb Telescope now that you've managed to read up slightly. What's your opinion on it?
It is actually a known alien. That particular planet.
Mm-hmm. The internet's dropped, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that
planet
interesting?
is listed.
You dropped.
My signal's
We can't
dropping.
hear you. We can't hear you. What planet was it again?
It was towards Proxima B. That planet is known to is listed to have ET life.
Are they intelligent or are they
humanoid?
Just like? But are they intelligent? Are they like stuck in the like industrial revolution, or are they intergalactic?
No, they're galactic.
Are they friendly?
Known as some. No, they're one. They're technically distant cousins of ours. Who can live to be about 2,000 Earth years.
See, why is that? What that's something I just don't get. Right? Why is it us
Damn
mere
good medical
mortals?
care.
Maybe us mere mortals on this earth are lucky if we see like 70 or 80. But there's extraterrestrials out there that are 2,000 years old, and some of them are millions of years old.
Well, you got to consider time dilation on the different worlds. You know, like an hour here could be 1,000 years on one planet. You know, there's different time dilations, and whenever those lifespans get shared with us, they're trying to convert it into terms we would understand. 1, 2, they have damn good medical care.
See, that's the thing, right? Hypothetically, 700 billion miles away. With today's technology, that obviously that's not been hidden for us, how long would it take to send a signal?
Depends on the type of signal.
Digital. Laser
still
beam.
rides radio waves.
Mm-hmm.
If they go to laser focus it, take into account all the different factors that fly from A to B, it would still take quite some time.
What? A couple of 100 years? More?
depending, like I said, you're asking me mathematical questions.
Come on, you're meant to be the intelligent. You're meant to be the Galactic Federation Elite. You're meant to be an officer. You're meant to be an officer.
Even they get confused on the conversions, you idiot.
Come on. Come on, you get tested here. Come on. Imagine I'm examining you. I'm your flight student officer or whatever I am. Look, around 4 years, really? That all?
Roughly.
That's not a lot
if
bad.
everything's taken into consideration and they're able to prevent anything from getting in the way, about 4 years. Thank you, Dots, for saving my ass.
So how long would it take to fly there?
Depends on the tech.
So if you had faster than light speed, it wouldn't take that long then?
Depends. There's several portals that they can utilize in order to get around that. And Tatiana, it looks like Proxima that James loves.
It makes you. They're obviously aware of us right now.
They know about us, yeah.
I wonder what they're thinking. They're thinking, "Oh Jesus, the humans have found us. Why was it our planet first?"
It wasn't just theirs.
Nah, I know, but this is the one they've released to the public, innit?
No, there's been a couple others they admitted that could hold signs of potential life, but that one just happened to catch interest because the photos do look like Earth city lights from a distance. Yeah. And that happens to be a human world, for lack of a better word.
So there you go. I think there's aliens closer than that. Well, obviously Mars. Mars is quite interesting. I see there's a lot of studies coming back saying that there's a chemical been found in Mars. Have you heard this one? Where there's been like a weird chemical found in Mars, and they're speculating that this chemical is only found at nuclear blast sites, like Hiroshima, and they're speculating that one time on Mars there was a very large exchange with nuclear weapons.
No, they've been speculating that for a while now to try to figure out why Mars looks like the way it does. Why in all the simulations, all the information about it, Mars looks awful lot like Earth could be if we face total annihilation.
There's Dots. I think that's what it's called. Was it dead? Said anyone? I was going to say there's Zedong.
Yeah, without Zedong.
It's like that guy that had you on his radio show and he misspelled your name. I had to say it. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, but I definitely think we came from Mars. I definitely think there's a lot more than that. I wonder what happened. I wonder, how bad it really was. See, this is what I don't right. The stories go about how man was created by the Anunnaki and all that kind of stuff and all this kind of carry on and that. So what actually caused Mars to go that way? Because if they were so sophisticated, if it was an asteroid, they could have stopped it. Unless it was an intergalactic war.
It was war.
Against who?
Not by everybody when you really think about it. But there's still people up there.
Aye, but they're no human. Like,
they are.
Are they? I thought they were.
Some that are human.
A wee bit different looking. What I've been learning, what I've been watching lately.
There's some that's been reptilian based. You're watching the giant cockroach videos, aren't you?
I'm not watching the giant cockroach videos, but I've been watching the ones that are meant to live under the surface of Mars. Because there's meant to be a city underneath the surface of Mars. Quite a big one.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think the Martian atmosphere is breathable. Do you know that? Ish. I do think you could transform the planet, but it would take a while. We need to send Dakota up there. Do you want to go, Dakota? We'll pitch in.
I've tried. I'm too tall for the flight suits.
You're too tall for the flight suits.
I'm serious.
What are you up there in the Galactic Command? Did you look this ginormous like alien dude with like 10 heads and big tentacles and all that kind of
No,
stuff?
I'm about the same height as I am. No, but no. Thankfully, only because of Elon, there is actually a height limit for space travel when it comes to civilian-based tech, and that is about 6'5".
See, that's interesting. Dots say that, right? A planet where the asteroid belt is now blew up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think? See, this is I had a theory, right? What happens if the moon at one? What happens if the moon at one time and the Earth moon was really at Mars, and it was moved to there?
Maybe.
Because it's meant to be a ship, and it's meant to be movable.
Maybe.
I just think there's a model. What is it in one of the moons of Mars? I can't remember. Is it Phobos? And one of the moons, there's meant to be like a monolith, isn't there?
I believe it was Phobos.
Yeah, I that's all I can. I'm reading quite a lot of the Zachariah Sitchin books and all that now. But yeah, I just think I would love to know what really happened, and obviously I'll never probably find out. But I would love to know what happened on that world, because it must have been devastation. The devastation must have been a grand scale.
Mm-hmm.
Could you think about it? If they were so advanced, they'd have cities all over the continents, right? And then what? 100 million years later, all there is rubble. See, there's been footage released of like architecture in NASA or whatever their name is. They've kind of like airbrushed it, and then you've got what's the face in Mars? What is your opinion on the face in Mars? That's a good one. What is your opinion on that?
That was a trick of the light.
So it's actually just a trick of the light then. What's that in the chat? I'm just reading the chat there. Just waiting for Lawrence to come up. I wonder what the Chinese are up to on the dark side of the moon. That is a good point. What are they up to?
Definitely makes you wonder.
We all know about the secret space programs and all that. The Chinese and the Russians and the Americans and the British and the Canadians and the Australians and everybody else are probably all working together behind the scenes. Let's face it. And all this that's going on in the world now is just utter shit that could end. They could end it if they wanted to.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they'll know.
But they don't.
But they don't. Because it's money. That's one. That's one. Money.
Money, access to a potentially infinite resource.
They don't want their little earthlings running away to different worlds when they find out that Pink Floyd, that's exactly Dark Side of the Moon. They don't want us earthlings finding out that there's free societies out there where money doesn't really exist.
And I want us to find out how many of our missing persons weren't actually missing. They were taken off planet for slave labor.
Yeah. That's actually a good point. So they're probably working away somewhere in some weird mine right now. With a pickaxe.
Totally conditioned to think that is everything that life there is to life. And any attempt to go to the outside world is completely restricted to avoid causing mass panic.
See, I've heard the story about how the president, when a president of the United States becomes president, they've got to sit down and watch this VCR. Have you heard about that? This tape, it's a tape, it's a VCR tape. It's a strange thing. It's a plastic thing, cassette.
I know what a VCR is, you knob.
Trying to explain to him what this strange device is. Well, it's called a tape, VCR. Well, the seemingly every president has to watch this. So I wonder what's on it. And because some presidents have been shocked by it.
Mm-hmm.
What's that in the chat there? Tanza But the flip side, we're also going to meet some good people from different planets and stars too. But if there's gidgeons out there, there's obviously going to be total dicks out there too, aren't there?
Yeah, here's the thing. And I'm not saying this to aggravate any, fear porn or any of that, but there's much more behind the scenes that people don't realize. When they come, yes, there's going to be some flat out amazing people. There's going to be some moments of confusion where, cultures clash and, we go to say one thing that apparently that's offensive to another, or it'd be like the Clap the Gator incident. Where
nothing wrong with clapping your gator. That's what I'm going to say.
I know, just saying. But nevertheless, we are going to have to pay our dues in order. We still have to contribute. It's not like they're just going to come down here, give us all this tech, and take off, and we'll be happy ever after. No. That's fucking lazy and very entitled on our part to expect that.
We should work for it. They'll give us their old shit that they don't really use anymore.
Exactly. So why would you want to give a race that's overcoming its hostile tendencies the ability to kick your ass?
Yeah. They'll give us what they'll do is they'll give us their old shit. They'll say, right, listen, there's some clean energy for you. Oh, and we've cleaned up your climate too for you. And here, we've got rid of all your nuclear weapons and nuclear waste for you too. Oh, and we'll also make sure that your planet doesn't get hit with asteroids, and we'll also police the space round about your planet to make sure you don't get invaded by any bad people. But the rest is up to you. And then fly away in their spaceship. That's exactly what will happen.
I think we're already in a probationary period where they're going to see if we can step up to the plate. By all means, so far, things are looking good. It's still early in the game, so there's going to be a little chaos. But we have to remember, in the long run, there will be something better than what they were expecting, what actually brought them here in the first place.
Oh,
but then that goes into whole timelines and all that confusing shit.
In a couple of thousand years from now, the humans will be helping another civilization in the same shoes. If we've not killed ourselves first, obviously. Or pissed anybody off.
By then, we'll probably look a little different. We'll be a little taller. Maybe the skin will be a little bluer.
See, that's what we do have to get out. We have to get out of racism and stuff like that. Because what's going to happen when a purple alien turns up? Yes, I'm talking about the purple aliens again, Dakota. The purple aliens and then the blue ones and the other ones that's out there, let's face it. What's going to happen when they turn out? Yeah, I mean, on Earth, the African Americans and stuff like that have got to look at the white folk and say, oh, let's all be friends. Look, there's a purple one there. We don't like the purple ones. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hey, John.
Exactly. It'll be like District 9.
Aye, that's actually quite a good movie, that. Look, I think the humans, it'll take a while before the humans overcome racism. It will. It'll take at least a couple of hundred years. It will take at least a couple of hundred years. Because it'll have to die out, basically. It'll have to die out.
Here's the thing, though. The major thing behind that is a sense of tribalism. And that, more or less, has contributed to mankind's ability to survive. To basically band together with things that are similar enough to us to overcome any threat that comes our way, be it environmental changes, predators, stuff like that. That sense is so ingrained into us that
there's predators out there.
I know, and here's the thing. There's a second segue that'll probably contribute to your little bashing tomorrow. But a lot of the problem is we have so many people these days that are so eager for human connection. They're flat out lonely and depressed. They don't get to see a lot of people that they'll be willing to take on just about any form of human connection that comes their way. That's why there's a lot of people who get so obsessed over the idea of like Twitch streamers and stuff like that, because
Yeah.
that's the only form of human interaction they have. So if they happen to see their favorite streamer come up on stream one day looking kind of down, they're thinking, oh, there's going to be a major travesty, or they're angry about something. Oh, he's really an asshole. Yet they don't come out of their basements. And the way I'm going with this is that there's still individuals out there who take advantage of those types, knowing that they will have such blind loyalty because they're desperate for love.
Yeah.
And we get caught up in so much of this chaos that you don't know what true love is. In fact, you want to wage war on it the second it presents itself.
We need to stop killing each other on this planet. We need to basically get rid of all the borders. Again, this is what I got before. They're like, holy shit, don't say that, Chris. We need to get rid of all the borders. We need to scrap all the nuclear weapons. Let's face it, they'll no work anyway because they've been turned off. We need, instead of spending trillions of dollars in weapons of mass destruction and stealth fighter jets and all that kind of stuff, start helping the planet. Because you could do so much, man. I mean, there's things you could do. You could cover the Sahara Desert in bloody solar panels. Yeah, I mean, the technology is there for fusion reactors and stuff. There's technology there for a device the size of a shoebox that would fit in your car and make your car run in water.
But be careful when you say that. People who try putting that into their cars end up being targeted in mass shootings.
But it's the only way it's going to stop is the elites. And there's another subject I want to bring up tonight that I've been hearing about. The only way it's going to stop is everybody starts sticking up to them and saying, no, more. It has to stop. For instance, what the hell, I was going to say I swear there, but what the hell is going on with all the billionaires and millionaires building these bunkers? And they've ought to be finished before winter of 2024 coming into 25.
That's definitely an interesting discussion.
No, we've got half an hour. Because let's face it, time, I don't know what it is lately, but time feels like it's slowed down for me. It's really weird. But all these billions, look at Mark Zuckerberg. He spent, what, $400 million, $200 million on a bunker on an island. Why?
Yeah.
And it's not just him.
Why do you think where they want all that land?
It's Bill Gates. He's building one too. Oh, there's about 25 bunkers getting built all over the world. All top bunkers for billionaires.
All of them affiliated with Jeffrey Epstein.
What, they're going to run away there and shut the door and hope that the government will go arrest them?
I'm just saying. All of these people have had some sort of connection to that.
Even Obama's meant to have a bloody bunker getting built and all this kind of madness. I mean, is there something I'm missing here? Is there something about to happen? And this is the honest truth, guys, and I'm going to say this now. I think, I don't know what he'll do, but see Trump, I think he's going to win, right? But I don't think they're going to let it happen. I think they're going to do something. They're going to do something. They're going to set something off. They're going to shut the internet down like we were talking about last night. All these billionaires will flee to these bunkers and then they'll do something. They'll shut the grid down. I'm telling you.
Election time would be the perfect time to shut it down, too.
When is election time? In the winter?
November.
Yeah. And all the bunkers are meant to be ready around about September.
Election time would be the perfect time to shut it down, especially where they're trying to go to all electric voting.
A couple of weeks before the election, shut everything down the grid, when the world ends.
No, not before the election,
but during it,
right as it's happening,
and then just shut everything down completely.
Here's the thing: that situations like the Miami Mall incident teach you. People as a whole tend to get very stupid with mom mentality.
Yep.
And blood's pumping full of adrenaline. Because again, those kids were setting off fireworks. And you don't even need to have any special Project Bluebeam bullshit in order to create events like that. You generate enough smoke, you can get a $20 projector, have some sort of aliens on a green screen background so it looks clear. They have this shit for Halloween directions, and people are going to see these amorphous moving blobs. It's the projections moving on the damn fog and not exactly pay attention.
It's like Dot says, they are stuck in a hole, nowhere to go. Right. I've got an idea, Dots, and you just gave me an idea. Let's, when all the elites go in and shut their big metal doors, we get a team of people to go to each bunker and weld the doors shut. Can't get back out. But they'll have their escape exits, obviously. But look.
So you got to take into consideration, you're going to want to look at potential ventilation and cut those off.
I watch on YouTube, I don't know if you watch it, it's that guy builds bunkers for people. It's called Atlas Survival Shelters. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think he has a lot of clients in northern Idaho.
Yeah, he does. Because I was watching one getting built the other day. There was like $500,000 or something. It was in Idaho. It was getting built.
It sounds about right.
And he says most ones that they build say they've got an emergency exit, but they've really got like 2 emergency exits. They're built in, they don't tell you what it is. But obviously the person that buys it knows what it is. Yeah. So you might know that you'll see an island with a bunker on it, and you'll think, right, I've sealed up all the air vents. These guys can't get out, and I've sealed up the door. These guys can't get out, but they'll ways out. They could have tunnels that lead out under the sea for all you can, to wee submersible and stuff like that. You don't know. But why are all the billionaires? Why are all the billionaires, not just millionaires, famous people, building these bunkers all in time for the election?
Because you got to consider, just like in any sort of group dynamic, you're going to have individuals who have, similar situations, similar jobs. They're all going to eventually find ways to interconnect with one another. Conventions, networking, parties, stuff like that. The low common people do it. The elites do it. They all have some way to get a hold of one another. Easy. And to anybody who's on the outside, they're like, oh, those two are friends. No big deal. Friends are going to share. Did something just flash inside of my screen right here?
Nah, something. I don't know what it was. When was that about? That was 38 something. 37.55 or 38 beyond.
Yeah, that was like, it looked like somebody was poking its head right about here.
Yeah, there's somebody says yes in the chat. They've seen it too. It's like somebody went like that and then back in again.
Well, my niece has been acting like she's been watching somebody that the rest of us can really pick up. So
obviously,
that's gonna be interesting.
Things. It was a quick flash, white flash.
Yeah,
I think the spirits and the other side and all that, I think they're warning us because I think something is about to happen. And honestly, can you imagine the pandemonium with the internet? I mean, I was talking about this last night, but I was lying in my bed last night thinking about this. When the internet, nothing will work. I mean, if it happened in the early 1980s or 1990s, I think it would be fine. But because it's happened now,
I know you got to talking about several different, like grocery stores, everything being connected to the Wi-Fi. Technically, all these stores, because I know a lot of emergency service personnel do it because they're all connected to the internet, but technically they're all supposed to have the old ways on standby, probably locked in a closet somewhere, but still more accessible just in case something goes down.
Right.
But here's the problem. none of the new people or the younger kids just barely entering the workforce aren't going to know that shit existed.
Yeah. Or here's the other scenario. You're going to the shop, you've went to the ATM machine, it's not working because the internet's down, so you can't get any money. You went into the bank, but they can't get any deliveries because the internet's down in money, because let's face it, the banks don't really keep that much money now. So you go in with your contactless on your watch or on your phone or your card, and you can't use it because there's no internet. So you can't buy none. So what you meant to do? And people will say, oh, but that's only a couple. No, that's everybody. So you can't buy gas for your car. You can't buy food, right? And then obviously the vehicles delivering all the food to the shops and things use people. And if they can't buy gas to get to their work, to drive that truck, to deliver your food, who's going to deliver your food?
Here's the thing. Going from the shop's point of view. Obviously, stores have to keep track of how much they sell and of what, so they can order more, right? Internet goes down, those orders ain't going to go out.
Exactly. I've noticed, I don't know if they're the same where you are, but again, you work in stores and that, they probably are. And the modern supermarkets like Tesco's and Morrison's in Britain and Scotland, I've noticed wee sensors in all the shelves now. And I was talking to a guy one day about it, somebody I knew that worked in Morrison's, and I says, what's that? And he says, oh, when you take, like, say, like, can of iron brew, when you take a can of iron brew, it knows that can of iron brew has been took. So it sends a signal back to the storeroom, and the guy comes out and repacks it. And then a signal goes to the main computer, and then it sends out, oh, we need another 500 pallets of iron brew or whatever. I mean, that's how it works.
I mean, can you imagine what those Amazon grab-and-go stores are going to be like?
I've never been in any of them. I just get everything delivered straight to my door.
No, it's exactly what you just described. They have sensors on all their merchandise to where you basically pay everything with whatever card you have attached to your Amazon account. Can you imagine what it's going to be like for those stores?
Can you imagine the people that have got electric cars and it all uses contactless to pay to charge your car up?
I know those. How about some of those Silicon Valley freaks that had the chips already implanted in their wrists with their credit card, their medical?
Yep. It's not going to work.
Yeah. What's going to happen if they get in trouble?
I drive a gasoline car with my tanks always running about full. In the scenario that it's doing, at least I've got fuel for a wee while.
Yeah. Same here. My tank usually gets me around a good 400 miles before I need a refill.
Yeah, I'm the same. But it's like Dot says, just go around lifting cans all day and the police will be overstretched because nothing will work.
Exactly. I mean, they have radios, but they're not going to be able to communicate much. Because their patrol cars are rigged with Wi-Fi.
That's right. That's weird you should say that, because I ken a couple of police officers and I was talking to it one day. One of them was showing me inside their police car. And it was a traffic police car, the ones that go for the cars and stuff. And he says everything's linked to the internet. Everything. It knows if you're taxed, insured, MOT'd, everything.
Oh, yeah.
And it finds you automatically. See, even if the police officer knew you, and they were like, oh, sorry, it's all right, when you go, but you get that hang MOT'd, they can't do that anymore because it's all connected to the motor. As soon as it reads your license plate, it finds you.
Yeah. In bigger cities over here, they have that. And I know in New York, there's a lot of people destroying traffic cameras because someone actually figured out that some of those cameras are rigged to flag people who are maybe going like a mile under the speed limit and still ticket them. Someone figured that out, and now they're trying to trash it.
They did that down in London. I was watching it. I watched a lot of mad stuff, and you've heard the UZ zone where that they'd got a guy in an electric scooter. Kind of electric scooters he's standing up on, but he put on a dinosaur suit, kind of inflatable dinosaur suits, and he stuck it with sellotape, a car license plate to the front and one at his back to see if it would activate it. When he went through the years, they get fined. They get fined. It's not meant to detect that. It's meant to recognise the vehicle. So it just shows you. It's funny as anything because they're having a lot of problems. They're having a lot of problems now in London.
Yeah, because people are starting to realize that those are fucking scams.
They're called Blade Runners. They're called Blade Runners, and they're cutting the cameras down.
You mean like the Harrison Ford movie?
Yeah, Blade Runner.
Really?
Yeah, they're called that. There's a resistance type group in London and all the major cities in Britain and Scotland.
Yeah,
and they're doing all these surveillance cameras, and they're called
yeah.
Blade
They got
Runners.
a bunch of them over in New York right now, hitting cameras.
Yeah. Do you ken they're bringing out new cameras over here? See, when you come in like a 30 zone or like a 40 zone for you or whatever, you brake, you brake, and then you come in. Well, they're going to start fining you for braking for coming in the 30 zone or the 40 zone. So in theory, before you get to the zone, you've got to be doing 30 before you get to the zone.
Yeah, there's some police jurisdictions that are like that. The cops are just that fucking anal.
Aye, that's that. Dino truck. That's that there. Aye, that's it. The guy, they put on the big kidney stupid costumes you get in the inflatable dinos.
Yeah.
And they flee about in scooters, but they take license plates off of cars, real cars, and put them on their back and got them doing the U-lays. And you see it, taking pictures. And it's not meant to. It's meant to recognise if it's a vehicle or not.
You know, here's my question. What about those exotic custom built cars, like the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, or because I've seen someone recreated their car to look like it. What do they call it? The dog car from Dumb and Dumber.
Now, that would still get fined. If it's a vehicle with four wheels, it should. Aye. There was oh my god, and this just shows you how people are so thing with it. I watched it. It was on YouTube actually. It wasn't TikTok for a change, and it was a traffic police UK, and it was their main website, and they pulled this guy over, and his back number plate and his front number plate was covered in leaves, right? And the guy came out and says, I'm really sorry, it's autumn, I can't do nothing to get it. And the police officer says, wait now. And the camera crew was with him, and they'd stuck the leaf on with sellotape or his number plates. I mean, ingenious kind of way, but they fined him heavily. But look, the motoring in the UK, you've got it lucky in America. You really have. Your gasoline is cheap, right? Really cheap. I mean, we're what? For you here, it'd be what, $12, $13 a gallon.
Yeah.
Right. Can you imagine paying $13 a gallon?
Some places it was getting kind of close.
Right. Now, yous are lucky. Yous don't really have like MOTs. You do have your emissions things in some states. I ken that, all that kind of stuff, because my American pal John, he's got that problem with his pickup. But yous are lucky. But they're trying to get all us motorists off the roads. They're trying to get us all off the roads.
Mm-hmm.
And electric cars are utter shit. I'm going to say that right now. Electric cars are utter shite. They catch fire. They don't. See, in a cold country, electric cars don't work. There's a guy up the back from me. He's got a Tesla. Right? I was talking to him. He charged it fully up, and it's meant to have a range of like 245 miles or something like that. In the winter time, you've got to preheat the battery, right? So it drops to 189 miles. Then you have to put the heaters on inside to defrost it. It drops down to 100 miles. And then when you start driving along the road using your lights and all that, you're talking about 60, 70 miles. It's no good.
Mm-hmm.
You can, to charge your car up for say 100 miles, it's costing like 20 to 30 pounds. For £10 worth of petrol, I can do about 100 odd miles.
Mm-hmm.
It's mad. Electric cars are not working. And it's a waste. It's an absolute waste.
I mean, I understand we need to have something better than
Of course we do.
tapping into melted dinosaurs. But the push for these electric cars, I mean, hell, yesterday we just had a major snowstorm.
Yep.
Those electric cars ain't gonna last.
You know the stuck cyber trucks? They can't go in snow.
Mm-hmm.
That's another theory, and we should really talk about it. Is it dead dinosaurs? Have you heard that? Have you heard the theory where oil on the earth is actually a naturally occurring fluid? Have you heard about that? And it was in the 18th century, near in the 19th century, where I can't remember, the elites got together and made up the idea that it was dead dinosaurs. They actually did make it up, the idea. There's actually proof out there that oil is naturally occurring on the earth. And that's why if you to stop using oil for, say, 10, 20,000 years, it would basically restock itself. So you think about it, because you get coal and you get all this. Look, for all the oil that's ever been found and all the coal that's ever been found, there must have been some amount of dead life, right? I live in a mining valley. Where I stay is a mining valley. There was like 4 coal mines, right? The coal seam that runs through my village, right, is the same seamy coal that goes underneath the Atlantic, and it comes out in Pennsylvania. It's the exact same seamy coal. It's actually really interesting. You think of that coal. There's been coal mines in my village for over 100 odd years, right? There's an estimated, I was talking to one of the geologists one day, that they were born to find out where the coal mines were, in case when they were building. There's an estimated 60 billion tons of coal from here to the start of the sea before it even goes under the Atlantic, right? Look up this, guys. Who invented the idea for petroleum? And you'll find out that it was in the early 18th, 19th century. Mm-hmm. I think it's an actual occurring thing, and I think it's always been here.
Makes you wonder now.
Yeah. Because there was a documentary about it. I'll find out about it, guys, and maybe talk about it next week. Was that the electric car can run and charge itself. However, the power companies won't be making money from that. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Look, there's hydrogen cars. I ken a guy that's got one of the cars that runs on it's just like normal gas, but you've got to have like a gas canister in the back here. It's a wee bit dodgy, right? It's a wee bit dodgy. There's get this gas canister sitting, but there's hydrogen power. And Toyota's seemingly working on a new engine that runs on water and stuff like that. What's that? Whoa, that's really cool about the mines. Aye, but it's true though. Oil. How do you know it is dinosaurs? Think about it. Do you imagine the amount of dinosaurs it would take to make all that oil that we've been using? Think about it.
Yeah.
It's obviously people are going to say, but it's sea life, it's fishes and it's plants and it's trees. Yes, that's very true. You've got peat bogs, which is peat bogs as that kind of thing, wood, trees, stuff like that. I think there's more to what meets the eye, because it was like the early, when oil was first kind of discovered, well, when they first started using it in the Midwest in America. I think it was in Texas, it was in the oil fields. It was, I can't remember their names. It was big companies. I can't remember. It wasn't ExxonMobil. It was the people that first invented the oil term. And it was these people that came to the notion that, let's say it was dead dinosaurs that came from, because then people will think, you think about it, if there was an unlimited supply of oil, right? It'd be a lot cheaper than it is, wouldn't it? Because you have to go out and you have to drill for it and you've got to look for it and build these big plants and then refine it and all that. So they had the idea of saying, well, it's unlimited, but let's say to them that it's really hard to get and that, and then we can charge a lot more. Look it up. Oh, you'll be shocked. LPG, thank you, Dots.
Scared at that point.
Exactly. I mean, I think oil has been here and it always will be here. I think it's naturally occurring. There's been proof. There's top scientists even say this, that it's naturally occurring.
Here's what I was just going to say. People they're probably thinking, "Oh, you are just idiots." Just think about this, okay? The precedent is there for information manipulation like that. Look at the light bulb. A bunch of people literally got together and said, "We are making these light bulbs too damn good and making no money on them." So they make light bulbs that burn out.
Of course we do.
Quickly.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking up really quickly. I want to see if I can find out the guys' names. I seen it. It was a documentary. It was so interesting. It was about the oil industry. It's the same with Nikola Tesla and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the other guy that got his idea first, which
Edison.
it would have been cheaper if it had been Tesla had done it. Mad.
Edison, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's praised as an American hero.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it's true that Tesla was dropped off here by aliens, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm trying to find it, but the engine for false content. I'm trying to find out who it was. It was these billionaires. I can't remember who they are, but they were American, and they came up with the idea. They said, "Oh, it was for dinosaurs and stuff like that." Mm. But you think about it, right? The Earth's been here for a long time. Of course, the Earth's been proven to be a lot older than it actually is. Have you heard that it's actually the Earth's actually now been proved to be here for 5 billion years?
Very true.
So, and the dinosaurs were around for a long, long before we were.
Mm-hmm.
You think about it. If there's been many civilizations, we've became, we fell. Where did they get all the oil from? Because obviously the next civilizations went through the Industrial Revolution, burning coal and using oil. So what happens if the first ones die out? Then 20,000 years later, new because it's like the slate gets wiped clean because we're that stupid and we just keep killing each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're already making synthetic fuel, carbon dioxide and hydrogen and petrol cars. That fuel should be mainstream for 2030. I heard about that.
Yeah. It was definitely an interesting new world that's going to be coming out. Yeah, we know.
I know, because we're talking about the petroleum industry.
Yeah, we're talking about major players who have purposely had people killed because they were spoke out.
I think we should talk about that next week. Why don't we talk about? Do we have a guest? We've got a guest next week, didn't we?
I don't know.
I'm going to check. Is it the 16th?
Check.
We've got Super Horror coming on, and we've also got Leonard Lowe.
Was that next week? Yeah. All right.
Right, Super Horror shows on the 13th, I'm sure.
All right.
And then I think it's the 27th, we've got Leonard Lowe. Yeah, we'll have. So why don't we do that for the 14th is a Sunday show. Why don't we go into the new fuel things that have been hidden for the public? Oil. So if we disappear, guys, you'll have to find a YouTube channel to go to.
Yeah, but who fires off about it like we do?
It's need to be talked about. because
It is.
I'll find out more information knowing about the oil conspiracy in the 1900s. And it's a really interesting thing how they came up with the idea of dead dinosaurs. And I bet there's folks sitting there, oh, don't be stupid. Coal and oil, it's all dead dinosaurs and it's dead trees and it's leaves and all that kind of stuff. Maybe it is. But it takes a lot. It takes a lot. It's There's more to meets the eye in this world, you know.
There always is. Well,
that's it.
Are you sure?
That's it. It's
the show's running awful short, but I guess we can do a little bit of a company announcement before we go. No, I look better bald.
Dot's favorite wig, you know. There you go.
No, he's more into you when it comes to that.
I think that looks me more intelligent. It makes me look like I've got a cone for a head, huh?
A cone for a head? Did you just... Christ, Chris. What? Anyway, so if anybody here is wanting to actually become a guest on the Bald and Bonkers show, we do have a little form that we have on the main website. Give us a little information, pick a date. We'd be more than happy to have you on so we can get your thoughts on what's going on in the world and maybe help you share your story, because let's face it, you're going to get tired of us two idiots babbling about.
Yeah, we need to get Dots on again. Dots, you need to come on again, man. We'll get you a wig to wear.
New year, new Elton John. Oh, dear God, Lawrence.
Candle in the wind.
Oh, God.